dog doesn't bark.
All right. Here we go. This
Okay.
is Kathy with La Femme Salon, and are we going to have fun today? Because we have Miss Robyn here, who is a personal stylist, has a wonderful story about how style is so integral to how we feel about ourselves as a woman, how we present ourselves to the world. And Robyn, I just want to dive in and have you share a little bit of your story, because I know this hasn't been your whole lifelong thing. How did you come to this path, and tell us more about what makes you so unique and fun?
Sure. Okay. So I have been in sales for over 30 years and meeting with clients, and I just realized how important it is our first impression. Within 1 minute, someone can make an impression on you. And from that, it's always been something always loved fashion, but I always felt like what seems so superficial. But what happened to me back in about 10 years ago, my husband lost his job and I became this major breadwinner in our family. And I had to really step up my income. I was in sales and I was paid commission, so I could increase my income, but I had to just really go out there and do it. I had to make a big impact. So my first thought was a couple things that I believe in. One is your first impression, and the second thing is shopping your closet, and you don't have to spend a ton of money on clothes. So because my husband has lost his job, I just didn't have extra income to go out and buy new clothes. So I went into my closet and I created a lot of new outfits, things that made me feel fabulous. And then when I stepped into the world with this newfound confidence, then everything seemed to change. And I actually grew my sales 20% in that first year, and it made a huge difference. And that was my aha. My aha was that, first of all, you don't have to spend a lot of money on clothes. And second of all, you have to present yourself with lots of confidence and feel good about who you are. And it really does go down to what we're wearing.
Yeah. And as you know, the women in this group are kind of in our 50s and 60s. And, it's kind of a time for us. I think over time we've been so focused on other people that we've kind of stopped focusing on ourselves. And, it's time for us to renew. How do we want to show up in the world? What kind of tips do you have?
Well, I think that the biggest thing is we have to get dressed every morning. We have to put on our clothes, and it's just taking a little bit of extra time. You could do it on the weekends. You can think about your week ahead and think, okay, I've got this meeting, or I'm going out with girlfriends, or I've got a date, or whatever it may be. But we need to think about it a little bit and not just wear the same thing over and over again, because what that does, you find yourself slumped over. You're just not presenting yourself in the way that you want to be. And think about that. Think about who you want to be and how you want to present yourself. So I think the biggest thing is to just take a little bit of extra time, and it doesn't have to be a lot because I know that's cherished, but just to think, where am I going and how do I want to feel and how do I want to present myself?
Yeah, that's a good way to talk about it. And one of the terms we use here is futurescaping. So
yes,
we had done a visualization to meet our future self when we've had it all. And I think it's interesting because a lot of what we say is that that sense of confidence that exudes from us, but oftentimes we get almost like a tactile feel for what are we wearing, and we've honored ourselves with clothing that makes us feel rich.
Correct. And I think a big thing for women, we're so hard on ourselves. When I lose 10 pounds, then I'm going to do this, and when whatever it might be. So I think we need to dress for the bodies that we have and be joyful in it. Be very joyful in how we appear. And it just makes a huge, huge difference.
Yeah. And we were talking previously about me. I walk my dog every morning and I just throw on whatever's on there. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if I were to meet the guy out there, you'd think I was a homeless girl. And like you said, it just takes a couple extra minutes to consider or, intentionally think about the things that I do on a regular basis and make sure that I've got clothing that is a good fit.
Correct. Well, then things even like walking your dog. So you don't have to have on a great outfit as far as be extremely dressed up, but I mean, you can go to Target and buy super cute workout gear, have it more fitted, not really, you don't want things really big and frumpy, and just maybe with a little bit of color, and that just freshens up what you have. And then just have a couple of outfits like that when you put on, you're going to feel really good and you don't have to spend a ton of money.
Right. And I love your whole concept about shopping your closet. So what does
Yes.
that look like? What do you recommend women do?
Okay.
And then tell us a little bit more about your technique, because I know that they can hire you to come right in and help them mix and match, because I'm absolutely guilty. I mean, I love the age of granimals where you just had to match
Yes.
the elephant to the elephant and you got a snazzy outfit. So
Right.
what do you do for remedial help for people like me?
So I think we can all get started on our own, but without my help. So I think the first thing to do is we have to clear the clutter, and we don't have to go in and do a complete overhaul of our closet, but just think about it. When you put something on, if you haven't felt good the whole entire day, do not put it back in your closet, because it's either too tight or it's got a button that's not working right. So that's the first easiest way to do, is to don't put things back in. And then what I like to do, and I mentioned this before, is on a Sunday possibly, I'll grab something that I haven't worn in a while. And I will look in my closet and I'll make it a challenge to find 2 different things that goes with. So maybe it's a blazer, or maybe it's just a cute sweater that I love, but I don't know why I never wear it. And then it's amazing how you can find new outfits. So you just put that together, and then now you have you can call it granimals, but you know that sweater works with this pair of pants, and that's something new and makes you feel more fresh.
Well, I like one of the techniques that you mentioned that you do with your clients is taking pictures of the outfits.
That's right.
I know I've done that before. Like, I see something in a magazine and I'm like, oh wait, I've got something similar. And I'm like, yep, okay, I got that. And then like 2 weeks later, I couldn't remember what the heck it was.
And that's okay. You can make an album on your phone with your clothing album. There's all kinds of apps as well. And there's not one that I really highly recommend, but just to make it simple, just make an album on your phone of your outfits, and you can scroll through it quickly and figure out, like, oh yeah, that's what I did with that. And another way to do it too, before you start making outfits, is I'm a big believer in Pinterest. A lot of people, I don't know if you get on Pinterest, but it's a great way just to say, I'm looking for summer outfits with jeans. I'm looking for summer outfits with whatever specific item that you have that you want to match, and you'll be surprised what you will find. And that will inspire you. And I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, you will find those items in your closet, something very similar.
That's fun. And then if you collect your own Pinterest board with it, I know that they'll send you updates of like, here's some other things. So you
Correct.
get new inspirations.
Yes.
That's a great idea.
And you can even, if you want to make it simple, you can pair things together. I like my closet organized with shirts together, pants, and then skirts and jackets. I try to keep it all my items together. But if it works for you to save you time in the morning, put your outfits together. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's a good idea. So you don't have to waste all that brain power that you might not have quite yet, just waking up to figure out what to wear. And
what you could do is on a Sunday is you could create 3 different outfits and actually just put those 3 together and put them in your closet. And I'm telling you, on Tuesday morning when you're heading out for that meeting and that outfit's already ready to go, it's a game changer.
Yeah.
And you just feel so confident and great when you walk out the door.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about like color. What do you recommend as far as helping people to find color, step boldly, I guess, into color, or what?
Mm-hmm. So a couple things. First off, don't be afraid of color. It really makes a difference. There's some people, we've talked about this, that just wear black all the time, and that's not really their color. Or there's some people feel like they wear purple and that's their color, but we can mix it up. Jewel tones, just as a really basic, jewel tones work on almost every skin tone. But if you want to take it down to you personally, there's 2 rules of thumb. And one is that if you're fair skinned, then you would wear things that are in the cool colors. So thinking blues and purples and things like that. If you have more of an olive tone or a darker skin, then you are better in warmer colors, which would be reds and browns and orange and yellow. So that's just a very broad, but it's just, you can tell by, I don't know if you can see my vein, but the colors of your veins, and you can tell if you're cool or not, if you're light colored skin. So it's just a quick, easy way to figure out. And I brought something to show you. So for instance, red is my color. So when I put on red, my face actually looks better. Yep. But if I put on something that was a really fair color, like a light blue, my face would wash out. So you can play with color just to see how it looks on you. Look at yourself in the mirror, put one color up and then put another color up, and you can see quickly if it brightens you or if it washes you out.
Yeah, and I like how you said the first adjective you used with the color red was, I believe, like that bold and aliveness, and I think that's what we are looking for at this point in time. It's like everybody's at this point to just feel vibrant once again.
Absolutely, and we need it more now than ever. We need color in our lives. We need to feel happy and fresh, and I think it does make a big, I had my nails done and I had them done in a bright blue just because it made me happy because of everything going on. So I think it's just really important. Awesome. And not to be afraid of it.
Mm-hmm. And so can you give us some tips, like the main pieces? Like I see the cute, is it a jacket, jeans?
Yeah, it's a jean jacket.
On, and can you tell us just like, what are some ways, that's a perfect example of something that can be so versatile. And oftentimes I just kind of wear it with pants, but I know other women can mix things in with dresses and things like that that I don't ever consider.
So I think what's really important, and I have a rule, I have to keep saying rules, but another idea that I have is that think of things in three. So when you get dressed in the morning, you should always have 3 pieces on, and this is a perfect example. So I just have a basic navy tee. I put on a denim jacket, but I added this really fun necklace, and that popped the outfit. Now it looks like I'm all put together. That took me no extra time other than putting this necklace on. So it's thinking about that third item. It could be a scarf. It could be a jacket. If you're wearing pants and a top, add a jacket. Denim jackets, I think, are such a basic, especially for those of us in Colorado. It's just, we don't have to get super dressed up, but it's fun. It goes with a dress. It goes with pants. I wear mine with very nice black trousers, and it still works. So it's a fun piece just to have to be very versatile. You know, even in the summertime, it gets cool with air conditioning. So you want something a little bit on your shoulders. That's a great piece to have. It's not too heavy. So I think having the 3 pieces, that's really key. So it could be a top, a skirt, a jacket, a top, a skirt, a necklace, a scarf, maybe a really fun bold bracelet, maybe a bold earring. Just one extra thing. And if you don't have those pieces, just be aware of that, and you'll be surprised when you're shopping that something might just pop out to you because it's going to be forefront in your mind.
That's fun. Is there any kind of rule, like a denim, is it too heavy to go with certain fabrics, or can you pretty much wear it with anything?
You can almost wear it with anything. You really can. I wear mine with a big, thick, bulky sweater. I've worn it with a really light summer sundress. So it does go with both. It's a nice weight. Think of it, a denim jacket is just like your jeans. You can wear jeans with just about everything. So it's very similar. Okay. And a big thing for me is that denim on denim is not, what did they used to call it, the Canadian tuxedo? That's not true. You can wear denim on denim. I'm here to bust that.
So if you wanted a casual pant, what would you put with the denim jacket then?
So with the casual pant, you could do in the summer, white jean looks terrific with it. Even just with a simple tee and a white jean and a denim jacket. Or you could do a cotton pant, just a pattern pant would be really super fun. Or red, or it could be.
She's like, what are you talking about? There's everything.
There's everything, right. And that's another great point, is that if you have a color that doesn't look good up here, you can always wear it on the bottom. So, or if you have a really big fabric skirt that you want to wear, then you can definitely wear that on the bottom and not on the top. So.
Okay. Yeah. And I don't know, is there any rules about, I think some women probably in their mind think they've got certain limitations on what they can and can't wear at a certain age. How do you address that?
Yeah, I think we've got to stop that, because, I mean, obviously I'm 60, I'm not going to wear a mini skirt, but you can still wear a lot of things. And I think it's what you feel comfortable in, and don't get stuck that because we're older, we have to wear very simple clothing. We can still be a little trendy and still have some fun. I don't believe that that's true. I think, and you can even, once again, going back to Pinterest, you can look for people, you could ask for outfits for women over 50. Some will be very dated, and it'll give you options on Pinterest. You can say, I want things that are more on trend, and it'll give you more trendy outfits. So, but most importantly, you want to be comfortable. I don't want women to feel like they have to dress a certain way. That you still got to feel good in your own skin. And be aware of what other women are wearing and see what you do like. And don't be afraid of it.
Yeah. And are there certain things that are just like, no, 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 no? Like you said, the denim on denim. Are there other things that are just mini
Well, I
skirts?
think, I think as the one thing I would say, like, once again, the shorter skirts definitely out. I would say, if your arms, as my arms are aging, I've got a lot more skin. So I try to wear a sleeve. I just think it looks nicer. So I think it's things like that I think you want to try to stay with, probably one of my biggest things is don't get caught up on trends. Like, don't be like, the trend right now is wearing mixing patterns. Well, that's super fun if you know how to do it, but if you don't know how to do it right, it can not look so great. So I think probably my biggest thing is not getting caught up on what trends are. And as we get older, being more classic, I think, and adding a little fun of trend, but not making that your whole outfit.
Mm-hmm. And I think you mentioned one of the times that we spoke about shopping even in thrift stores.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So a fun story of mine to show you that you don't have to spend a lot of money and you can get your clothing anywhere is I volunteered for Dress for Success for a couple years. And women would come in and I would create outfits in the thrift store out of what I could find in the thrift store for them to go out on a job interview. And I always found something that went together. So consignment stores and thrift shops, don't mark them out. There's some great possibilities. Know what you're looking for. Look at the item. If it looks like it's ratted, it looks like it's been worn a lot, obviously that's not a good choice, but make sure that it's constructed, it's good quality. And I'm a huge believer in that.
Yeah. If you're going out shopping, do you generally, is it better to have something in particular that you're looking for? Like I knew new white jeans or something like that. Mm-hmm. Or is it just as good to go open-minded and just say, what's going to jump off the shelf to me today?
I think it would, obviously we have different budget constraints, but right now is a perfect time. So spring's coming and you see all these beautiful new spring things. And then you can be very impulsive and buy things that will just sit in your closet. So I think you should shop with intention. And when you do buy something, think in your mind so first of all, you go out knowing I want to get a pair of white jeans. So that's your intention. But you also, if you find something that you weren't intending to buy, make sure it goes with, think in your head about what you've got in your closet. It's got to go with 3 other things in my closet.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I find sometimes I'll come home and I'll go to hang it up and I've got something that's so similar. It's like, why the heck did I do that?
And then take it back, because we do that. So bring it home. And if you can't think of it when you're shopping, you bring it home. And if you can't find 3 things, return it.
That's a great rule of thumb.
Mm-hmm. Because that's what happens is we get all these things in our closet. We have a full closet and then we look in there and go, I have nothing to wear.
Yeah.
Because nothing goes together.
Yeah. Or just older fits. And how about the ladies that might be holding on to several different sizes because they've got their big jeans or that kind of a thing? How do you?
I don't really like that because I feel like then you're holding on to this love who you are right now. And no matter what that size is, if you do lose the weight or you gain the weight, then buy some different clothes. But for now, I think you just dress for what the size you have, because it's overwhelming, first of all. And then it's also, it plays with your confidence a lot. Like, yeah, I still haven't lost that weight, so now I still can't wear those pants. I'd say let them go.
Yeah. It's probably good rule of thumb for a lot of things. Just letting it go.
And I think we hold on to things or even things that we've had for years, like, oh, I spent so much money on that, I just can't get rid of it. Mm-hmm. Something I always ask myself, or I'll ask clients, would you, first of all, would you buy it again now, and how much would you pay for it? Because a lot of times we wouldn't buy it again, so just get rid of it and let it go. And it was just, it's not gaining you any money by staying in your closet, but it will free you up tremendously if you let it go.
That's a good point. And it's frightening, like how old some of the things in my closet are. There's a few of them that are like, I still love them and I wear them all the time. Maybe not all the time, but like it absolutely conjures back great memories of the time when I bought it or the reason I bought it back originally. So sometimes that's great. And then other times I find myself holding on to things just because they have value.
Yes.
It's a fascinating thing just to watch myself, because that's a pattern from my mom. And, I think our parents kind of needed to hang on to,
yes,
to everything because they were from that generation. But it's
Definitely.
now I think it's so much more important for us to be in flow and travel more lightly.
Correctly.
Yeah.
And I'm a big believer, a book that I read recently is called Essentialism. And I'm a big believer in that. I think the less we have in our closets, the better, because then everything we have, we absolutely love. And it's, I know what brings you joy, you can kind of go with that a little bit, but it's really more about just getting rid of the clutter and keeping your closet where there's just not a lot of things, but only things that fit you well and that go with a lot of different things. And it makes it, you open your closet, you feel so much better.
Yeah. It's a great tip. So tell us a little bit more, because I just think that sounds like such a blast to have you over into, go through things in the closet and find things that I never would have thought to pair together. So what does the whole process look like with you?
So one thing I wanted to say right at the top, so many women they feel like they're embarrassed to have me come into their closet, first of all. So, and a lot of that is just that either the closet is too full or it's not organized, or like, let that go, because that's where I come in. That's why I do what I do. And I don't judge. I come in to help you. And so that's a big one for me. So basically what I do is either we can do two things. We can just go through the closet, or we can pull everything out, and then I have you try things on, we put things up for color, and then I always have you give me 4 or 5 pieces that you just can't find anything to go with, and I make at least 10 outfits, and then we take pictures of them. And it's just so fun, because all of a sudden you find all these little gems in your closet that you forgot that you had, or you never wear. They still fit really well. Or I had a woman the other day that she had these darling clogs that are back in style right now. And she was like, oh my gosh, I can wear these. I'm like, yes. So we put together 2 outfits with the clogs, and that saved her from buying a new pair of shoes. And now she feels like she has 3 new outfits without spending any money on clothes. So, and when I put everything back, I like to put things in color. I put things by style, if it's a top, a pant. So it's very organized and very streamlined. We make 3 piles. We make one that's giveaway, one that goes to, if you want to do consignment, some women do like to do that. Pieces you spend a lot and you feel like you can get money back on them. And then some are, you need to take them to the tailor. So that's a big one too. So if you have a pair of pants that you love and they just don't fit quite right, I can tell you if it's something that can be fixed. So sometimes I take the clothes with me, because some women were like, if you leave them here, I'll put them back in my closet. So I'll take everything you're giving away. I'll donate it.
Awesome.
Take that fear away. So that's pretty much, so when I leave, you have a couple things. You have, first of all, a completely organized, clutter-free closet. And second of all, I'll give you 10 outfits that you can wear. And then the third thing is I will make a shopping list. So when you do go shopping, I need a new white tee, or I need a pair of white jeans, or I need a black tee, or I want to get a new denim jacket. So now you're really shopping with intention, because you know what is missing in your closet.
Yeah. One of the shows I used to love to watch was What Not to Wear.
Yes.
Give us your take on that whole concept. It was fun.
I think it's fun. I mean, I watched that all the time. That was one of my favorite shows. And there is something about that first of all, I think you need to find your inner person of who you want to be. That's the key. I say we're our walking billboard. So when you talk about visualization, visualize when you're walking the dog, when you're going to Starbucks, when you're at a meeting, how do you want to look? That's the most important part. And then I help you become that person. So sometimes I thought, and What Not to Wear, she's a little harsh. Like, yeah, you can't wear that. But some things, I think we still have to be us. Yeah. But I think it's important, like a couple things, like if you're very busty, you always want to have a V. It could be a necklace, it could be a V-shaped sweater. So it's learning how to do some of those things. I had a woman the other day that I was styling, and she had her shirt out and we tucked it in. She goes, oh, I never tuck my shirts in. And I said, let's just tuck it in. And she's like, you're right. It does look a lot better. Oh. But she was conscious of her weight. And we're bringing things in because we need to be very proud of who we are.
Yeah. So. And to me, that was one of the big takeaways from that show, actually, is that you would see them have gravitated to the things that were comfortable, but oftentimes, just as you're saying, they're hiding in their clothes. And right. You love the transformation that happens because they're now able to show off their body regardless of the size. And they just, you know, shone with such confidence and joy about themselves. You couldn't help but love them.
And that's exactly it. And then you do find, and just a client that I worked with last week, she called me up right after, or I guess it was a couple days later, and she said, I just have so much joy. And that to me, that's my goal. Then I've accomplished what I wanted to accomplish, because as women, we take so much on and we carry so much on our shoulders, and we need to take care of us, and we need to find more joy. And if it's something as simple as putting on a fun scarf, that's fantastic.
Right. I was going to ask you, so I just went to vacation in Mexico, and it was interesting because I got to a place and a lot of the ladies were wearing two pieces, and it was great because I was just happy to see that they were comfortable. You know, they weren't necessarily the model looks, and they were comfortable just enjoying the water, being in their two-piece bathing suits. Like, what advice do you give women about swimsuits?
I think, you know, swimsuits is probably one of our biggest things that we really beat ourselves up. We compare ourselves over, and there is something about that. I mean, it's how you want it. Once again, it's back to how you feel. I feel like I like a one piece better. I just feel more comfortable. I feel like I can sit in the sun. I can read, I can swim. It's more comfortable. I have another girlfriend, and she's probably carries an extra 20 pounds and she wears a two piece, but she's very confident in it. So if you want to wear a two piece, I say go for it, but be confident in it and know that if people want to judge, let them judge, but it's what makes you happy. That's the way I feel. And you'll know, I mean, if you're super busty, you don't want to wear something really where the girls are just hanging out. You want to cover them up, and you don't want to wear, I don't think we should be wearing string bikinis by no means, but you still can wear a two piece. They make some darling two pieces that come up over your belly button. So you can cover up a little bit of your belly and still feel fresh.
Yeah.
And you can always put a sarong on or cover up. And, you know, I personally don't like to walk around just in my bathing suit. Doesn't make me feel comfortable. So I always have a cover up, and that's okay. That makes me happy.
Yeah. And I like tankinis because it's kind of the best of both worlds.
Exactly. That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, and you can always roll it up if you want to.
Yes, and cover up.
Yeah. Oh, I meant to ask you, when you come and do your sessions with somebody, how long does the session last, and what exactly does it look like?
Okay, so usually I spend anywhere between 4 and 5 hours with you, because if you were doing a full closet, it takes that long. It's just a matter of just getting everything out, putting things back in, trying things on. I think really 4 hours is what it takes to get it all done. So you really have to block out some time. And I do it on the weekends. I do it in the evenings. I really prefer to do it during the day, because with natural light, I think you can just see the clothing better. But if we're working and we only can do it at night, I can make that work too. So, or, late afternoon into the evening. I've got an appointment next week where I'm starting at 3, and I know we'll go well into the evening, but that's okay.
Right.
So, and I
get into shoe choices and all that kind of thing too.
I'm sorry.
You get into shoe choices too?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, and shoes are a big one for me, because shoes get very worn. And after we get through a winter like we've just had with a lot of snow, and sometimes we just have to let them go. And maybe your favorite pair of boots, but they're all scuffed up. And talk about the first impression. If someone looks down and sees your shoes all scuffed up, it's like you don't care. So some of them can go, and I can tell you which ones I think can go to. And it's hard to find shoe repairs nowadays, but some can be polished and look better, but some just need to be replaced. So definitely we look at shoes. That's a part of the whole process. Yeah. Because it really puts you together.
Yeah. And do you have any tips on if you've got shoes that need to be cleaned, like what's the best way to clean them? Do you use regular polish or what?
So a couple things. So suede is probably the best thing that we can clean. As far as you can use a brush and you can brush out the stains. They have leather cleaners. You can use leather cleaners to get that out. I really, at the beginning of the winter, I always spray my boots with a leather protectant or a suede protectant, because I do think that helps a lot. And if you've been out in the snow or out in a yucky day where it's slushy, when you come home, wipe them down. Just take a towel, and it doesn't have to be wet. Just take a towel and wipe it all down, because once it sits, then it starts getting the stains. So that's something that I think is really important. And tennis shoes, I think we can wear sneakers with a lot of things. I did a blog on that not too long ago. about sneakers, and sneakers are cute with skirts. They can go with jeans. They can go with dress pants. I mean, people are wearing sneakers everywhere, but the biggest thing is you can't wear your workout sneakers for fashion. You can't, it just doesn't look right. And you need to clean them. Like you don't want them really scuffy and looking more, and you want them looking fresh.
Well, that, and you know, maybe I'm an adventure girl. How's that? But I tend to be running around in some kind of tennis shoe a lot, and they're probably not the cutest. So
you can go to, once again, I'm back to Target again, but you can buy an inexpensive pair of tennis shoes that you wear not when you're going to go for a hike or walk the dog, but you're going to be running, even if you're just running errands, you can just step it up with that other pair of shoes. You'll actually feel better.
Okay.
And I do, for those that are interested, and you can let your clients know, I do a fashion blog that comes out twice a month. And if anybody's interested in that, it's just strictly fashion ideas, tips. Last week, it was just about how to transition from winter to spring, because it's so goofy here. It gets hot, it gets cold, and it's all about layering. So you can just let them know, and they can share it with you, and I can put them on my blog.
Okay, and actually I'll have you at the end. You just made me think of one other question. That's a great tip about the transitioning between the season. Do you suggest that we put our clothes away, like out of sight? Yeah.
I do. So 2 things. I'm lucky enough that I have a closet in my basement that I literally take all of my winter clothes out and I put them down in my basement. If you don't have that option, just put them in the back of your closet. So when you open your closet, everything you see is for spring, summer, and it's things you will wear right now, and it won't confuse you. Because that's a part of it too. When we're trying to get dressed, we get confused, and right now I wouldn't do it right yet, because we still need some light sweaters. We still need, you can transition a heavy coat with a trench coat. You can transition a pair of boots with with a loafer, so that it just kind of lightens things. You're starting to lighten things up a little bit right now. A heavy sweater, go with a light cashmere or cotton, crew neck versus turtleneck. So we're just starting to lighten things up and get away from the heaviness of winter. And bring some color in, because that's fun too right now.
I was just thinking about that, bringing it back to fun and boldness, and just showing your individual style.
Right. And as we've been talking, I've been looking at your necklace, and it did remind me about jewelry. So people do ask me 2 questions about jewelry. Do I wear gold? Do I wear silver? Can I mix metals? First of all, yes, you can mix metals. You can wear gold and silver now, and that's no problem at all. But a great way to know if you're better in gold or silver is to put a gold bracelet on one hand and then a silver bracelet on the other, and get a natural light and look at your skin tone and see what looks better. The gold necklace that you have just makes your face sparkle, and it just frames your face. So that's perfect. So you can see that. But that's just a fun way to it's good. So I think it's important. And don't forget that, like, your accessories can emphasize how you look.
Okay. And that goes both ways. That's a good point to bring up about accessorizing things, of just how different, like you said, I love that bold necklace completely puts this whole outfit together, and something, right. Another necklace can make a whole nother feel for that necklace.
Correct. Yes.
And I guess that's too, going from work and then going out to whatever, on a date or wherever you're going out for dinner.
Correct. And even like that. So work, you would have this, and then maybe if you're going out, you could add a really fun, big, bold earring or something.
Super. Super. So what do you think? Have we covered anything? Is there any last minute things you'd like to share with our girls?
I think I want to just emphasize again to dress for the body that you have, and don't get caught up on losing the last 10 pounds and all that, because once you start dressing joyfully, you'll be surprised all of a sudden maybe that last 10 pounds will go away, because you just feel better about yourself and you take better care of yourself. And just be aware of what you're wearing and how you feel. And if it doesn't feel right, do not put it back in your closet again. And when it does feel right, take a quick picture of yourself and say, I really like this outfit and I felt great all day. So just being aware, I think, is the biggest thing, because no one takes time to get dressed, in the sense of, it's just like, I got to get dressed and get out the door. But we do need, that is important. And I think once we start being aware of it, you'd be surprised how much things change.
I love the two words you just put together, dress joyfully.
Yes, that's my philosophy.
Awesomeness.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, please give us your contact information. How can people find you? You mentioned your blog.
Okay.
They'd like to sign up. Just
Okay. So I have my website is Graceful Impression. Just Graceful GRACEFUL Impression IMPRESSON and gracefulimpression.com. And on there, if you click on blog, there's a place that you can subscribe to the blog. You can see I have my blogs posted, and you can see the kind of blogs that I've done and get a lot of great fashion tips that maybe we didn't cover today. So I would highly recommend that. My email is robyn@gracefulimpression.com. And right now I'm running a special for $50. I'm doing $50 off a closet cleanse for any of your clients, just to say thank you for taking the time to chat with me. So I wanted to share that with your clients as well.
that's wonderful.
And you can also follow me on Instagram, at Graceful Impression. And I put things on Instagram all the time.
Oh, good for you. I haven't made the leap to Instagram. I'm on it, so I can go check you out. I'll
Okay, good.
look to see
And
what
Facebook. I'm on Facebook as well. I guess I forgot that too.
All right. Very good. Oh, spell your last name then for.
So it's Robyn with a Y, ROBYN, Balsley, BALSLEY.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, Kathy, this was so fun. I just love chatting with you.
Yeah. And I guess for the closing thing, dress joyfully. Thank you for your time.
Yes, with grace. Yes.
Perfect.
Thank you.